At the end of the day, now is the time. It's time for you to awaken and to educate yourself. Thereafter, it's time for action. Hey, good morning. What's up, y'all? This is very different than my normal content. And quite frankly, I'm just going to jump straight into it. All right. It is time for us, every single person, but especially within the United States, to waken up. And I'm not necessarily talking about anything spiritual, religious, or the like. I'm talking about absolute knowledge of what is true. First of all, why do we need to do this? A people divided cannot stand. Okay. If the people are divided amongst themselves, they know we will not stand. Think about your workplace. Think about your church. Think about the military. In any organization, obviously it's normally smaller at the top. Meaning, who truly has the power? Well, the people at the top only have power by the consent of the governed, or by the consent of those working, or by the consent of those adhering to a religious institution. The point is, the masses have the power. I don't care about Republican, Democrat, Independent. Forget all that. The people have the power, well, at least under certain constitutions, or politeia, to use the ancient Greek word. And ours is what we call a democracy, coming from demokratia. Demos means the people, normally means those without wealth, especially when juxtaposed with an oligarchy or other forms of government, such as temarchy. That's very militaristic in nature, seeking honor and stuff. Tyranny, which is, in essence, democracy gone bad. And oligarchy, which is rule of the few. But what is the few usually in the society? It is the rich, those who own the means of production. What are these means of production? These are factories, farms, things that are needed in order to create profit and wealth. Okay? The power lies in the people. Hence, in our Constitution, again, the United States, we the people. Okay? It's all about the people. So, if we can come together and realize we the people are one, we're over here fighting symptoms amongst each other while the root problem is much higher up. Okay? We need to unite. I don't care if you're Roman Catholic like I am, if you're Protestant, Orthodox, Muslim, Hindu, Jainist, Sikh, New Age. This is not a religious talk. This is about the Constitution and that we are all united. And what I recommend that you all do, and this is just the beginning, is the following. Let it be stated, I graduated from university. My background is linguistics. And through linguistics, I've learned so much, from psycholinguistics, learning how the brain acquires knowledge, what even is language as a phenomenon. Specifically, I study diachronic linguistics, which is looking at words and their histories, where they come, etymologies and the like, historical criticism, all these different things. But through this language, and specifically Latin, ancient Greek, Sanskrit, Hebrew, you can see through things. And I'm going to give some examples of words here. Democracy, demokratia. What does it mean? It's Greek, rule of the people. Meteorology. Meteor, the study of things in the high spaces. Or a comet, cometes, which is like hair, because it's going through the heavens literally, and with this fiery tail that looks like hair. Hemoglobin in the blood. Haimos, blood. Globos, like a ball-shaped thing. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is, when you learn language, it kind of lets you see a lot. Learn words and you will start seeing through things. Literally, I'm talking noetically with the mind. You'll start to understand and comprehend things better. Well, how is that related to unity and all that? I say this to say that since university, I've been studying so much. I'm talking about astrophysics and astronomy, chemistry, quantum mechanics, which is physics, and physics in general. Physics is like my favorite subject now. I've been learning mathematics. Right now I'm taking calculus just to do it. Biology. I've been watching med school lectures, gender theory, sociology, psychology. I could go on and on about the things I've been learning for the past years. I'm talking about 3, 4, 5 years. Theology, especially philosophy. And I just want to say that now is the time that we collectively need to unite this collective consciousness and raise it to understand. And this isn't some, again, spiritual thing. Consciousness, understanding. This is the time that we, the people, need to understand what is going on in order to act accordingly. So what I recommend to you, let's just get into it. First of all, we need to learn how to be unbiased. Again, I don't care if you're Christian like me, or Muslim, or a Sikh, or atheist, or agnostic. I don't care. Now is the time to learn how to rid of bias. In philosophy, this is called epake, cessation of thinking. Stop thinking about who you are. Like me, I'm an African American, black male, living in this country with a college education. Who is American? No, that's not who I am. That's who my ego is, my physical part, based upon where I happen to be born and literally the coding that is our DNA. That's all it is. But that's not my essence. My essence is a soul. I'm observing this realm like a video game because we are souls that are inside of a body, to use a Platonic view, or the Aristotelian view is we are ensouled bodies or embodied souls. The point is, your essence is not just here. For an example, I want you to pause, come with me here to this moment, and I want you to think about a phrase. Think, I am happy today because the sun is shining. Think it, don't say it. Now think it again. Now, do you see how you can kind of hear that in your head? If you can hear it, not hear, but you know what I mean. You can hear that you're reading it, kind of like when you're reading a book or something like this. You can hear those thoughts, which means those thoughts are not you. You are observing those thoughts from this eternal space, right? So you are not your physical being. So we don't need to keep letting these physical attributes about us, our accidents, philosophically speaking, again, the physical attributes about us, the things that we see, divide us. We need to be united by our one essence. That is that true sense that all of us are created by the Most High, the Creator. And that should unite us. Now, once we can do this and truly try our best to get rid of bias, I recommend learning first rhetoric. This is how to form an argument. And I don't mean just Googling it. This is going to be reading books, listening to lectures. And I don't mean just getting your own opinions. This is objective capital T truth, or rather the mega alpha aletheia in the Greek. Aletheia means truth. From here, we got to get into physics, especially cosmology. We need to understand what even is this cosmos? What is the cosmos? What are the laws of physics? Because there are laws by which we are bound. And if we understand them philosophically, conceptually, and mathematically, then we can better understand, okay, well, this is why things are the way they are. And then once you understand the physical realm, you need to take sociology. I mean, y'all, sociology, that's an awakening. And no, this isn't some liberal propaganda or conservative propaganda. This is objective sociological phenomena. We're studying, why do the constructs exist that exist? Why are the institutions which exist? How did humanity get to this point? I also recommend learning computer science. And I don't, believe me, I'm not a computer scientist, but as we study, you start to see how a computer is, how it works. And you start to see like, wow, like this is how our world is constructed as well, because we have a designer, that is God. I'm a Christian, so again, for me, he's the Father, but you don't have to even think about it that way. Philosophically speaking, there is a creator. You can call it the first cause, the prime mover, whatever you want to call it. For him, for me, again, it's the Father. I'm a Christian, a Roman Catholic, but the point is, computer science can help you see how, just as we as humans programmed, we're essentially, quote, quote, and I mean this lightly, these gods creating this world. Well, we are living in this created world. We're like the player playing a video game, and this is our first person view by a coding that was put in place by the creator. Now, once you understand sociology, you need to get deep into psychology. You can do it spiritually, but I recommend first doing it through academics, seeing it as a science. Just understand how things are first. Understand psychotherapy, talk therapy, understand CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. Once you do this, and as we're all doing this, we need to be studying philosophy. I'm talking about ethics. I'm talking about metaphysics. I'm talking about the highest levels of knowledge that you can learn. That's what philosophy is. I mean, philosophy has changed my mind more than anything. And then y'all go and just from there, it's going to lead to so many other places, but also study history. And I don't mean from your perspective. I mean, look at many perspectives. So for example, for me, when I study church history, right? I don't just look at the church's perspective. Yes, I read the church perspective, but then I read, what did the Romans say about it? Maybe what did people of the Jewish faith say about it at that time? I mean, we need to see all the perspectives to get a more holistic understanding. So study history, okay? I mean, especially in this postmodernism, y'all, look at what happened when people were awakened to the truth. I'm talking about Revolutions were formed. Democracies were formed. People were freed. And I'm not just talking about black slavery. Look at European history. I'm going to stop right here because, again, I can keep going on and on. There are so many things we need to learn. I mean, study gender theory, study other social constructs, you all. If you don't necessarily have to agree with it, but know the knowledge of why things are the way they are. Here's my thing. As a seeker of truth myself, whether I agree or something, that's a moot point. But if something exists, such as, let's say this finger exists, if I'm a scientist, meaning someone who wants to study something, scientia, knowledge, I need to study this to know why it exists. So it doesn't matter if you agree with it or disagree with it. Study it without bias. And the point is, as we keep studying and reading and learning, we will collectively awaken. And as we collectively awaken, that's dangerous to the powers that be. And I'm talking about Foucauldian power, that capital P. Study that. That's a part of philosophy. That's like late 20th century, okay? So this isn't like some classical stuff. But the point I'm saying is this. Now is the time, especially with the internet. Y'all, there's no excuses. Harvard puts tons of lectures, and you can even go and look up the homework and stuff too. Yale, MIT, yo, there's no excuse, okay? I'm done here. Now's the time to learn and to awaken, because the more we keep getting divided, the worse this country's gonna get. And I'm not talking politics. I mean, I guess I am, because we're talking about the city-state that is the United States. But the point I'm saying is this: we need to unite, all of us. I don't care if you're white, black, man, woman, trans, Buddhist, Christian, Hindu. I don't care. We all live on this land, okay? And we are also one with the world. I mean, y'all, I get it. Borders are there for a reason. I do understand it. But at the end of the day, we're all human beings, okay? Some of these borders are natural borders. Some of them are arbitrary, but these are all social constructs, okay? So educate yourself. Awaken out of ignorance. I'm going to use a Platonic imagery. Do you want to be in a cave? I mean, look at this shadow behind me. Y'all see it? I don't even know if you can see it. Plato said that those who are ignorant, meaning ignorance, they do not know, they don't see, right? With the mind. It's like you're living by looking at these shadows on the wall. And so it takes people learning through education, educo, out of being led. They're being led out of what? Ignorance, so ex ignorantia, and they're being led to see truth as it really is, and that's leaving that cave. We all need to leave the cave and stop letting the capital P powers that be control our narrative, all right? This has nothing to do with elections and all this. This is just, I'm sick of the division in our country and in the world amongst humanity. All so that people that own things, a very small percent, can profit off of everybody else, so that paying workers, capital W, less than what they're worth, marking up prices even more so that they can make profits and profits and profits. And these profits are increasing every year. Is your salary going up at that same percentage rate? Is it? So awaken yourself. And now is the time to educate yourself. Again, first of all, learn how to be unbiased. Then learn how to form an argument. This is rhetoric. Then physics. Learn about the world. Then learn about the social constructs. Learn about psychology. And then from there, life is going to take you on a path, I promise. Now is the time for unity. May you unite, and may the people win.